GM Beanstalk, Beanthoven here with your Biweekly Roundup. Thursday's DAO meeting began with Guy offering some Mayflower updates.
The three main things left are Silo v3, Basin itself, Basin the separate DEX protocol, and then the Basin integration BIP, which is the Beanstalk upgrade that integrates the two and whitelists the Bean well that we're all wondering when it happens. So right now for Silo v3, Cyprin is doing some code review. You might have seen Patrick join the Discord and ask a few questions. Thanks for everyone who was helping him out. And simultaneously working on finalizing, or really in progress of developing the UI for the changes that Silo v3 introduces, as well as finalizing some of the deposit metadata, like the image that shows up when you list a deposit on OpenSea, for example. So by the end of next week, we're hoping to share the BIP for that, as well as do some rigorous UI testing and propose the BIP by the end of the month. This is the BIP that also introduces the unripe seeds parity. So that would go live, as it is currently planned, a week into July. On the Basin front, we're waiting to hear back from Cyprin on some of our audit remediations, and then we'll be finalizing the contract level code, and have a couple weeks from now scheduled a code arena audit. Hopefully, a week or week and a half into July, we'll actually be able to deploy the Basin contracts, or right before that, do some Basin UI testing. Unclear exactly when we'll launch the UI, whether it's right when we deploy Basin or when the Beneath well is launched, but TBD on that front. The last one is the Basin integration BIP, which will happen after Silo v3 and Basin are deployed. And at this rate, we're looking at proposing that BIP in mid-July. So, the Beneath well would be whitelisted a week later. At this rate, as far as I'm concerned, the end of Mayflower is definitely happening in July.
Guy then talked about some plans for post-Mayflower, and the thinking around moving Beanstalk away from the multisig and making it as decentralized as possible.
Step 1, the ETH migration. Step 2, the generalized convert stuff. 3, whitelisting some sort of either a single stablecoin pair or multiple, unclear at the moment. The 4th would be this V1 gauge system that I described. The final thing that we are hoping to build by the end of the year, well, not really build, but propose, is we're discussing potentially what it would look like to remove governance and making Beanstalk immutable. And we've talked a lot about, Publius has talked a lot about how in some sense it's too early for Beanstalk to ossify because it does have to compete with other versions of itself. And one of the things that we're working through is like, what would a system look like where, for each new deployment of Beanstalk, there's some sort of migration period where either silo members, pod holders, both can opt in to the new system. The reason is there's like a few different axes to it, but one of which is, in this sort of, somewhat stagnant state of Beanstalk, we're not learning a whole lot about the model and how to improve it. And there's always this question of, can we do this? Is the DAO going to approve it or not? And this would allow a much more, market-based approach to allow the best Beanstalk to win. And, what that probably looks like is probably also some sort of delegation system where, someone who's not paying attention day to day can delegate their ability to migrate their liquidity to some new Beanstalk to another stockholder or another Ethereum account. It's unclear. A lot of the details are unclear at the moment, but again, this is all sort of light of and motivated by, can we accelerate the timeline for making Beanstalk actually the decentralized stablecoin issuer?
This prompted some questions and concerns voiced by Albean. The full discussion is well worth checking out in the recording.
This is all through and in progress and in flight at the moment, so nothing's final.
Based on the discussion and engagement around the post-Mayflower topic, Guy reaffirmed Beanstalk Farms' commitment to attending the bi-weekly DAO meetings for the time being, as these issues are ironed out. And that's it for now. The Mayflower is getting close and things will be picking up soon, so make sure to tune in next time. Until then, I'm Beanthoven, signing out.